Apathy for Agatha. Here's what's weird. Agatha All Along had its 5th episode. The 6th episode. There's only like what 3 episodes left?
I think it's 8. Yeah.
Yeah. So only a few more episodes left. Does anyone care? I don't even see people doing videos about Agatha. It seems it's not shown up in the top 10 ratings. It is plummeted in the ratings. There's a new episode today, and you confessed to me. I'm going to tell. I hope you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
An Alan confession. He fell asleep watching the show.
I fell asleep twice.
Is that true?
Yeah, woke up and I had to rewind and see what I missed because I missed the big reveal. There's a big secret in this show that is revealed.
Well,
and,
okay, we're gonna put it on the spoiler warning.
Yeah,
we'll put it on the spoiler warning. Alan, what is the reveal?
Hold on, you can put the spoiler warning.
I got it right here. Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. All right, teen. He is not Agatha's son. In fact, he is Wanda Maximoff's son. I believe Billy is the name, if I'm not mistaken. There you go.
Why do I care? Why does that matter?
Yeah.
Why does that matter?
Well, apparently during the promotion of this, they were all referring to the big secret. And there you go. I'm sorry to spoil it to everyone.
That's a very disappointing secret.
I think the shock that is resonating throughout the stream is palpable.
Here's the deal. Every week I listen to the official Marvel podcast that is on the Marvel Entertainment channel. They interview creators. They talk about what's happening in comics, obviously the movies and the Disney Plus Marvel shows. There was a very interesting, and I like Anthony Carbone's unbridled enthusiasm and positivity. He has enthusiasm. And there's a very interesting interview with the creator of the showrunner for Agatha All Along, Jack Schaefer. We're going to listen to a quote here. It's a couple minutes, but it will give you some perspective about what's happening in the show. Are you ready, Alan?
Yes.
All right, let's listen to this.
I think it'll give fans a lot to look forward to.
We also got to chat with the show's executive producer and head writer, Jack Schaefer, about the overall development of the show.
Here's Jack having a real pinch me moment about developing a whole show around a Marvel villain.
Oh my gosh. I'm like having a moment of realizing that you're talking about me. I got to do that. It's true. So the early days of like, okay, this is it. I get to make a show about Agatha. It was, what is worthy of Agatha? What is worthy of Catherine Hahn? And I literally made a list of the things that needed to be in it, both for Agatha and as a follow-up to WandaVision. And so these were things like must have musical moments, must have costume and hair moments.
Hold on.
Costume and hair moments? Fashion moments, musical moments. What kind of show is she making? Okay.
A Marvel superhero show.
A Marvel superhero show with musical moments and
hair and makeup. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna keep playing it so we can.
And by the way, you gotta unmute yourself when you speak.
Yeah, of course. I'll do that. Okay. You can feel free to mute me. All right, here we go. Continue.
I was really committed to doing a puzzle box structure again. And I wanted to do the same type of high wire tonal act that we did with WandaVision. But then also on that list was don't just redo WandaVision. And I was really helped out by like Agatha is so different from Wanda and Vision. Wanda and Vision truly are striving to be good and Agatha is not. So that
can be taken a couple different ways. Striving to be good and Agatha is not. If you took that quote out of context, it would be pretty funny. I don't know. I want to play some more of this, but what do you think so far, Alan?
I hate this show even more. I mean, before I just thought it was bad, but there's this pretentiousness, this idea of this is the problem with Hollywood. They believe their shit don't stink. And the fact that she loves the things she's put into the show, and to realize that everyone hates the things she put into the show, just says a whole lot about the state of Marvel.
Let's keep going with this Jack Schaefer's comments on Agatha. Here we go.
That sort of like already set me up for this is going to be a different deal. And so that's when it was like, this will be a darker show. We will pull in horror. We were, blessed with the opportunity of presenting witches in the MCU. That was one of our early conversations is that's the task. And
so the task is putting witches in the MCU. We're getting it.
Good job. Because Star Wars wasn't enough.
Right.
Marvel.
We need more witches.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We're gonna get witches in the Dune show coming up. Bene Gesserit witches.
Well, they're taking cues from Walt Disney, who put witches in his movies.
Well, there you are. Continuing.
That really informed, like, that's just it's a huge priority on its own. So like we had to drop really truly into witchcraft and what's our version of witchcraft.
Jack also talked about adapting the Salem 7 from the comics to the big screen.
Yes, in the comics, the Salem 7 are so totally different, which I have some like trepidation about that because they're very cool in the comics, but we wanted to have a lot of mystery. And in the comics, they're not mysterious. Like, they're animalistic and they're very sort of like robustly drawn and realized. And we wanted the scare of the unknown. And we wanted them to, in sort of in the room talking about like what's scary, the sort of hive mind, like a group that functions as a unit and is in opposition to our unit, right? So we have our coven of misfit witches who like cannot harmonize to save their lives, like they're just like, it's always like conflict and discord at every turn. But there are heroes technically, even though they're all bad witches. But then, so we wanted the Salem 7 to really be a foil to that they are perfectly synchronized and perfectly harmonized. And that's actually, there's perversion in that. They've sort of soured over the years. They've become like feral in this way. So that was sort of how that notion was birthed.
We also
Oh my God.
What do you think, Alan?
Okay, not only is Agatha in name only, the Salem 7 is there.
They're not even comic accurate. They're not, the Salem 7 are not comic accurate.
Yeah, it's the green light that they get. Oh, well, the name is in the comics there, so we can use it now. We can abscond with it and do whatever we want. Agatha, I mean, look, when I was reading Fantastic Four, Agatha wasn't a villain. She was Franklin Richards' nanny.
Right.
And I don't remember, does she ultimately become a villain? I know she goes up against Dr. Doom once in a while, but
they are literally grafting their versions of the character onto classic characters with no semblance of the original source characters at all. I mean, this is, by the way, I'll say this about Agatha All Along, which I'm sure we'll talk about the finale. This is not worth covering week to week, but I'll say that this doesn't ruin Marvel, but you did not need this. It was needless and unnecessary and forgettable. That's what I'll say. And ultimately a disappointment, because I like a lot of the actors in this show. I think I really do like Catherine Hahn. Yeah. I think she's very good. And there's no issue with the actors whatsoever in the show. The showrunner, Jack Schaefer, I think is just misguided. They kind of gave her a lot of rope to do whatever she wanted with it, and this is what we got.
Well, that's the thing, is when you allow diverse DEI to dictate your decisions, you bring on Jack Schaefer and you let her have her way, give her whatever she wants. And of course you can't challenge anything about it. Otherwise you're going to be labeled as a misogynist or whatever. And so this is what happens when you let DEI go unleashed and unchecked. Yeah, unchecked, and
Or-
you get a show like this.
or not. I'll say this: not challenged.
Mm-hmm.
I think what you do, and the we'll do a link in the description to this whole podcast. They did a whole section. They interviewed the casting director of Agatha for what they were looking for. It's hysterical. It's hysterical because you can tell what kind of show they were trying to make from the descriptions of the characters. It was it's weird, but I don't know. This is I like this podcast because I get a lot of insight. I get a little insight here, a little insight
into the downfall of a famous movie.
Well, it's
studio.
just it doesn't even feel like it. This is a little side quest and unnecessary. I mean, it used to be everything Marvel you had to watch. You had to see Captain Marvel because that was the movie sandwiched between two of the biggest Marvel films of all time, Infinity War and Endgame, right? You had to see Captain Marvel. So it was $1 billion movie. I mean, and then of course we saw what happened with the Marvels. I think people are realizing I don't need to watch all of everything Marvel. I don't need to watch it all. Just catch me up. And that's where we are with the
And
franchise.
unfortunately, we have to watch it. The other thing is, would you read this comic book? Would you make this comic book?
Oh, that's interesting. If this show were a comic book, would I read it? No. You?
No, and that's why I mentioned early on. This is much more in the Hocus Pocus realm than it is Marvel Comics.
If
And
it
I
was
think
called, if it was called Hocus Pocus 3,
yeah,
but it
Yeah.
actually matches it better.
and your audience. That's
Right.
the other thing. The fact that this is a Marvel Comics show just means that they don't understand the audience. That they're going for the wrong audience. And branding, branding is everything. We learned it with the Simu product there. If this was Hocus Pocus 3, your audience, you could probably cast it a little, get Sarah Jessica Parker in there or whatever, and make a semi-decent film or TV show. It'll still be bad, but at least you're branding it right.